What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Conor Benn. Get this. Conor Benn yet again accused of foul play by trainer of fighter he knocked out. The trainer of one of Conor Benn's previous opponents has hit out at the Brit and made his opinions clear on the seemingly endless saga involving the British Boxing Board of Control and UKAD, detailing why he is suspicious of the controversial fighter. Okay. And Algieri's trainer, Derek Santos, explained why he believes Benn was capable of stopping his man at the time. He said, under different circumstances, the fight with Chris Algieri would have gone differently. Look at Manny Pacquiao, an 8-time world champion. He dropped Chris Algieri several times, and every time he got up. All of a sudden, this guy who is not known to be a knockout puncher knocks him out completely. People really need to look at the facts. Conor Benn knocked out Chris Algieri and Chris Van Herden, okay? And the two guys who had only been stopped once each in 30-plus fights. Since his failed test, he's had 2 fights in America, and he didn't look anything like the killing machine he did against Chris. He's no longer knocking anybody down. Where's the explosiveness gone? Why is there such a drastic difference? In the last 2 fights, he has gone the distance against the lesser fighters, Chris, which in itself speaks volumes. With no disrespect to them, they were lesser fighters than the ones he was knocking out. And let me counterpunch. It looks bad. It looks very bad. You know, and I've said this before about Conor Benn and Jarrell Miller. These guys, I mean, at least Jarrell Miller, you know, he knocked out Lucas Brown, but Lucas Brown, understand, is also a guy that, you know, is on the cheating list. So, you know, but then he come up short when he rose to the occasion when he fought someone like Daniel Dubois, ran out of gas, compared to a person that could throw 80 punches around that was around the same size but didn't run out of gas. Now we look at Conor Benn. Conor Benn, man, I think Conor has a lot to prove. You know, if he, you know, if the stuff helped him or not, but then like the actions of what he did. And that was a good example that Derek Santos mentioned. Okay. It was a good example because, see, Manny dropped Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri was 19-0 when he fought Manny Pacquiao. I remember watching that fight. And Manny caught him with a lunging straight left. I mean, these were explosive punches. And I mean, this man was falling down, doing cartwheels and all that jazz. You know what I mean? But that was an aging Pacquiao, though. That was Pacquiao in his mid-30s. Conor Benn is in his 20s, you know, to defend him at some point. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to give Conor something. You know, and the only thing that I could say is fight them again and knock them back out. You know what I mean? That's the only way. You know, or but understand this too. And I want people to understand about Conor Benn. Conor Benn, it's not like Chris Algieri got beat by Manny Pacquiao but didn't get knocked out by him, but ain't got knocked out before. Oh yeah, he's been knocked out before. Your knockouts accumulate, people. Okay? And again, people need to, we need to put all the cards on the table before we just start shitting on Conor Benn, simply because who's Chris Algieri in there with? Okay, let's just be real. Chris Algieri was in there with a younger, bigger version of Marvin Hagler at the time, Errol Spence. He was in there with Errol Spence, and Errol Spence, man, chopped this guy down. He beat him up. You know what I mean? Did he knock him out? No, he didn't knock him out. But he took a lot of punishment. Now, he's won some fights. Don't get it wrong. He beat Andrew Fernandez. He beat Danny Gonzalez. He beat Tommy Coyle. He beat Les Pierre. You know, he beat a lot of these guys. He beat Eric Bone. He got beat by Amir Khan. Okay? But understand, Amir Khan, he dropped Amir Khan. Or almost dropped Amir Khan. You know what I mean? And, like, Chris Algieri had some... you know, he had some good moments, okay? You know, he even beat Ruslan Provandikov, A lot of people forget about Algieri. Algieri, his name should be there, besides just being a nutritionist, and he was also a very good boxer and with a good record, okay? And Errol Spence took that man down and chopped him down in 5 rounds, okay? And now he goes up against Conor Benn, and now Conor Benn knocks him out in 4 KO. Well, still, you compare Conor Benn to Errol Spence and then Manny Pacquiao. So you got Errol Spence, then Manny Pacquiao. Then you compare to him knocking him out, Conor Benn knocking Chris Algieri out cold. You know what I mean? That's still questionable because those guys are known to be punchers. Errol Spence, puncher. Manny Pacquiao, puncher. Conor Benn, not too much. So yeah, look, Conor Benn is going to get criticism. He's going to get criticism until he starts duplicating or mirroring what he did before. If he can't do that, people will always talk about Conor Benn because it's going to always be the clear difference between, yo, man, you were taking something and you were knocking people out and you know what I mean? After you knocked them out cold, and then now it's like, not so much. That's not good. You know what I mean? But don't worry. If Conor Benn starts knocking people out and he starts passing these drug tests, I think people like Derek Santos, those voices or arguments will get smaller and smaller and smaller. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Chris Algieri's coach blasting Conor Benn for foul play, drug use. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.